Okay, guys. So I hope I am clearly audible to everyone. So last lecture, what we had done was we had completed with saponin, glycosides, few of the drugs. Just to give a brief about, let me go back to our first slide of saponin glycosides we had started, and we had managed this to study that we had decided we'll be studying this 5 drugs, that is Diascorea, Brahmi, ginseng, licorice and quilaya. Out of this, we have already completed first 3 drugs. Okay, and today we plan to complete the rest of the 2 drugs, that is licorice and quilaya. And along with that, we also plan to complete the miscellaneous glycosides as well as few of the MCQs that are related to this glycosides. Okay, any doubts you have, please feel free to contact me or put a comment on our live YouTube channel. I will be responding to your comments, if not between the lecture, because that will become a little taxi. But I will be definitely reading your comments and replying to it as soon as the lecture gets over. Any doubt you have, again I am saying, please don't miss to put a comment to it. Okay, and I myself will be responding to the comment. Okay, so yeah, so we had completed Diascorea. Okay, we had seen 2 different types of terpenoids. First of all, I will say that is tetracyclic or like saponins, that is steroidal saponins and pentacyclic saponins. Okay, so basically they are all triterpenoidal compounds. Okay, now under this we have studied Diascorea, Brahmi, ginseng. Okay, these 3 drugs we have completed. Today we start with licorice, which is nothing but Jeshtimat or Yeshti or Mulethi or Glyceriza. Okay, all these names are of nothing but the compound licorice. Okay, now अगर पता होगा सबको licorice का major use और येष्टि मधु ऐसा लकड़ी होता है, बहुत लोग वो ऐसे ही swallow करते हैं using it as a demulcent. Okay, and few of them use it for cough as well. Okay, it is given to young kids or neonates also, so that they do not develop cough. Okay, so basically it consists of stolons. These are nothing but something called as stolons, peeled and unpeeled stolons, roots and subterranean stems of Glyceriza glabra belonging to family Leguminosae. Now there are commonly 3 varieties of Glyceriza glabra, namely Violacea, Glandulifera, and Typica. Okay, now if you see your genus and species is same, only the variety is different. Now variety is different based on the geographical source. That means that there is something called as Persian licorice, there is Russian licorice, and there is Spanish licorice. Now if you see at the Persian licorice, they will bear violet flowers. If you see at Russian licorice, they are distinct big stalk together, number of elongated roots, but it has not got any stolon. And Spanish licorice is nothing but the plants that bears only purplish blue colors, papillonaceous flowers, and it possesses a large number of stolons. Okay, looking at a cultivation, since they are rhizomes, अगर ये rhizome है, so maximally they will be getting harvested in the month of October. Okay, अभी हमें licorice क्यों चाहिए? So it is used as a natural sweetener. Okay, so that is why particularly from all such plants that have not yet borne the fruits, thereby asserting maximum sweetness of the sap. Okay, rootlets and birds are removed manually and drug is washed with running water. Why? Because this drug is as it is used. मतलब एक तो उसका एक्सट्रैक्ट लिकरिस का भी यूज होता है, बट जनरली एज इट इज भी आयुर्वेदिक प्रिपरेशंस में दिस ड्रग इज यूज्ड. ओके, first the drug will be dried under sun and then subsequently under the shade till it loses almost 50% of its initial weight, and their large thick roots of the Russian licorice are usually peeled before drying. Now if I talk about the macroscopy, they are unpeeled yellowish brown or dark brown externally and yellowish internally, while the peeled licorice is pale yellow in color, sweet in taste. And if you see unpeeled pieces, they show presence of small birds. Like, can you see here? Can you see in this picture? There are small birds that are present encircling the scaly leaves, and longitudinally the drug is wrinkled, like you can see again in the picture, and is fibrous without wrinkles, while the peeled drug will be fibrous without wrinkles. When I talk about the microscopy of this plant, so this will have a cork, like you can see here. Then it will have a calcium oxalate crystal sheet. That is, basically licorice have very specific prism type of calcium oxalate crystals. There will be phloem fibers, xylem fibers, pith cells, because since it is a stolon. अगर root होगा तो there will be no pith present, pith will be absent. Otherwise stolon होगा, since this specifically, if you want to check whether we are checking out licorice stolon or licorice root, you can have a look at the microscopy. Okay, so if it is a stolon, then in that case this will have a presence of pith. This is one of the major difference between a root and a stolon. Okay, there will be also presence of pericyclic fibers into it. Now, what are the chief constituents? तो हमें एक याद रखना, if you see, this is pentacyclic triterpenoidal saponin. Okay, triterpenoid क्यों? Because it is C30 compound. Okay, now main constituent is glycyrrhizine, which is obtainable in the form of sweet, which is 50 times more sweeter than sucrose. Okay, while the powder will consist of calcium and potassium salts of glycyrrhizinic acid, which on hydrolysis will yield glyceritic or glycyrrhetinic acid, which has a triterpenoidal structure. It shows especially in alkaline solution frothing, but it has a very weak hemolytic property. Okay, hemolytic property क्यों weak है? फ्रॉदिंग है, मतलब सैपोनिन का जो सोप और फोम टेस्ट होगा, दैट इट विल गिव, बट इट विल नॉट लीड टू हिमोलाइसिस. मतलब जो आरबीसीज है उसका ब्रेकडाउन बहुत धीरे धीरे करेगा, एंड दैट इज द गुड, in a way also good property, because we are going to ingest it, right? So in a way it is also weak hemolytic property, is a good property of licorice. Another important aspect is it has the presence of flavonoids, which will cause anti-gastric effect and are useful in the treatment of peptic ulcer. So the yellow color of the drug is due to chalcone glycoside isolicoritin. This is important. Yellow color is due to chalcone glycoside that is present, which is isolicoritin. Indian licorice also show presence of 2-methyl isoflavone and a coumarin, liquor coumarin. Carbinoxolone is nothing but an oleanane derivative, which is derived from glycyrrhiza and possess significant mineralocorticoid activity. What is a mineralocorticoid activity? Something I want you guys also to think of, no? It's not me reading. Comment section में answer करो. I am having a look at the comment section. What is mineralocorticoid activity? So basically, what are mineralocorticoids? They are nothing but that are some compounds that will regulate salt and water balance in the body. Correct? So it has that activity also, and it is also used as an anti-ulcer drug. Okay, तो कितने सारे properties है? हर एक constituent का अलग है. Flavonoids present है, which are used in treatment of ulcer. Then the glycyrrhizinic acid will act as a sweetener, and the carbinoxolone, which is an oleanine derivative present, that will possess mineralocorticoid activity. Okay, so बहुत सारे options है. तो रादर आई विल से बहुत सारे constituents है, and उसका बहुत सारा uses है. So you have to write this down. हर एक constituent का अलग activity है in case of licorice. Okay, now when we talk about, this is the structures. Okay, these are the structures. And now when we talk about the different chemical tests, so if sulfuric acid is added to the thick section of the drug or powder, it will instantly produce a deep yellow color. Now, adulterants that are present in glycyrrhiza is Glycyrrhiza uralensis, which is also known as Manchurian licorice. It is pale chocolate brown in appearance, having wavy medullary rays, exfoliated cork, which is mostly used as an adulterant for glamour. Now, this particular species is free from sugar, but it contains glycyrrhizin. Sometimes this Russian licorice will also be used as an adulterant because the drug will appear purplish in color and will have long roots but no stolons. Abhi stolons, actually stolons are the one which will have activity. Okay, the root will have comparatively less activity and इसीलिए हम लोग का concentration ज्यादा stolons पे रहेगा. Okay, so glycyrrhiza uralensis क्यों adulterant है? Because it will not contain glycyrrhizin and hence it will not have the sweetener activity. Okay, sweetening agent activity, and that is why we are considering it as an adulterant. Now when we talk about the uses, glycyrrhiza will have demulcent and expectorant properties which I earlier only mentioned. Okay, then it will be used as a masking agent क्योंकि वो sweetener है strong, and also मतलब अगर तुम्हें कोई आर्टिफिशियल स्वीटनर यूज नहीं करना है या डायबिटीज है तो शुगर यूज नहीं करना है ज्यादा, तो इन दैट केस दिस इज अगेन एन ऑल्टरनेटिव. ओके, सो जो भी हेवीली बीटर ड्रग्स है लाइक क्विनीन, अमोनियम क्लोराइड, एलो एक्सेट्रा, उसमें टेस्ट मास्किंग का काम कौन करेगा? ग्लिसराइड. Then it has also surfactant activity due to presence of saponins. So it will help to facilitate the absorption of poorly absorbed drugs, for instance, anthraquinone, glycoside. Then the presence of glycerinic acid will exert mineralocorticoid activity. हमने कौन सा डेरिवेटिव पढ़ा? कार्बिनॉक्सोलोन डेरिवेटिव. और दूसरा कौन सा है? ग्लिसरिटिनिक एसिड, which is going to have mineralocorticoid activity. Okay, that is maintaining the salt and water balance. So hence what will salt and water balance अगर maintained होगा body में, so what will happen? ऑटोमेटिकली इन्फ्लेमेशन कम होगा बॉडी में, इडिमा कम होगा बॉडी में, स्वेलिंग कम होगा बॉडी में. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज यूज्ड इन द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ इन्फ्लेमेशन, arthritis and Addison's disease. Then it is an important ingredient of licorice compound powder wherein it augments the action of senna. Action of senna is what? It is nothing but used as a laxative. Okay, so it is going to augment that action. Licorice liquid extract is employed as a foam stabilizer in the foam type of fire extinguisher. It is used in treatment of peptic ulcers. In Europe, this acid is employed exclusively in dermatological formulation for its remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. What is caution with regards to this particular drug? So as glycyrrhizin will enhance sodium and fluid retention and promote potassium depletion, therefore patients with history of either hypertension or cardiac problems will avoid consumption of significant amount of licorice. When I say significant amount, you have to understand that it is a good amount. Okay, ज़्यादा amount of licorice को avoid करना चाहिए. Okay. Next, coming to quillaya or soap bark or Panama wood. Now, quillaja bark is nothing but it consists of inner dried bark of Quillaja saponaria belonging to family Rosaceae. Okay, अभी quillaja bark है, that is nothing but collected from trunk of wild plant. Okay, and then careful incisions are made on the trunk. If you see, have a look at this bark. थोड़ा बहुत licorice से similar लगेगा, but it is different. Okay, bark is free from the outer dark colored cork and it is cut into pieces, graded and packed. This is brownish white, while occasionally reddish brown or blackish brown in color. Taste is astringent. Microscopy उसमें राइटिडोमा है. which resembles or represents the cork cells. So basically जो cork cells present है ना in the Panama bark or in the Quillaja bark, okay, they will represent rhytidomes. Okay, rhytidomes are generally nothing but outer bark. Okay, it is nothing but the outer bark. Then it has parenchymatous tissues containing numerous groups of fibers and large prismatic crystals of calcium oxalate. फ्लोएम फाइबर्स, जाइलम फाइबर्स, बाकी सब सेम होगा. इनर बार्क है तो सब कुछ बाकी का रहेगा ही. एंड इनर मोस्ट पार्ट है तो इट विल बी inner most part will be unlignified and without fibers. This is very surprising about Quillaya bark, that innermost part is unlignified. Then Quillaya contains 9 to 10% of colorless amorphous triterpenoidal saponin glycosides. Glycosides which on hydrolysis will give rise to quillic acid and Quillaya sapotoxin. Acrid and astringent taste of the bark is due to presence of Quillaya sapotoxin. Besides, the drug also contains tannin, starch, sucrose, calcium oxalate, and Quillaya also responds to the test of clothing and molar. Okay, so basically, quillic acid is one of the major constituents when I talk about the Quillaja bark. Now, when I have to tell you about its uses, it is used as an emulsifying agent for tar and volatile oil, also used as an expectorant, and it is also used as a detergent in preparation of shampoo. Cause gastric reasons in higher doses, it can cause gastric reasons and healing. Okay, so that's it about Quillaya, and also we have completed here the saponin glycoside. Okay, next that we start with is miscellaneous glycoside. Okay, तो miscellaneous glycoside कौन से एक तो miscellaneous कैटेगरी में डाला है बिकॉज ये ग्लाइकोसाइड के क्लास ऑफ कंपाउंड कम है, एज इन एक क्लास ऑफ कंपाउंड में दो या ड्रग्स है वन, एंड हर एक का स्ट्रक्चर मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन सब कुछ अलग है. जैसे अबाउट एंथ्रोपिन तो उसका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन जनरली फॉरगेटिव देखा है. कार्डियक का कैसे होगा स्पेसिफिकली विद रिस्पेक्ट टू हार्ट डिजीज. Okay, saponins have they are soap-like, but of course they will have different action constituents. But yes, they are soap. Correct. So similarly, now going to cyanogenetic isothiocyanine, coumarin, aldehyde phenol, and glycosidal bitter. So first, let us have a look at cyanogenetic glycoside. ये सब हम पढ़ने वाले हैं. Start form में I am mentioning this 7 drugs we are going to study. Good thing is that they were almost all of these are under minor drugs. Don't have to study the entire microscope in detail, or there are no much constituents like we have seen when we had seen food glycosides. One had around 15 to 20 constituents inside it. So इसमें एक या दो ही important constituents है, and mechanism of action of the entire class is. So let us start with first, that is cyanogenetic or cyanophoric glycoside. अगर याद होगा तो in the first lecture itself I had we had taken two chemical tests with glycoside, okay, which was due to release of HCN gas. Okay, so basically same. They are glycosides which on hydrolysis they will yield hydrocyanic acid, benzaldehyde, and sugar. Now, medicinal activity of cyanogenetic glycoside is due to presence of hydrocyanic acid, and these are the characteristics of family roses. Most of these glycosides contain derivatives of mandinonitrile, which is nothing but nitrile of mandelic acid or cyanide of mandelic acid. For example, amygdalin, which is obtained from bitter almond, that is Prunus amygdalus, prunacin obtained from wild cherry bark, and vinamarin from linseed. तो ये सब क्या है? एक तो मैंने मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल मतलब क्या, साइनाइड रिंग, साइनाइड ये जो रिंग है इसको बोलते हैं मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल। ओके, साइनाइड कंटेनिंग ring with a attachment of CHO. ओके, और ये जो सारे हैं ये उसके एग्जाम्पल। नाउ देर इज वन स्पेसिफिक chemical test apart from sodium picrate test. When the drug is treated with 3% of aqueous solution of mercurous nitrate, reduction to metallic mercury salt will take place. Why? Because of this presence of this cyanide group. Okay. First drug that we study under this class is bitter almond. They are nothing but dried ripe seeds of Prunus amygdalus, variety Amara and belonging to family Rosaceae. They are brown in color, odorless, bitter, flattened, oblong, ovoid in shape with markings on testa. The major chemical constituents are it contains about 40 to 50% of bland fixed oil, proteins, enzymes, emulsion, and colorless crystalline bitter glycoside, which is known as amygdalin. It also contains 0.5% of volatile oil. On hydrolysis, due to emulsin that is present in the presence of water, what it will decompose into benzaldehyde and hydrocyanuric acid. So again, glycoside है तो याद रखना कि sugar molecules तो होगा ही, but there will be also presence of a glycone group which will make mandolonitride. अभी इसमें क्या है, when this will undergo hydrolysis, cyanide तो अलग से निकल जाएगा और benzaldehyde अलग हो जाएगा. ओके, तो benzaldehyde और cyanide अलग अलग हो जाएगा. ओके, now HCN is very poisonous and it makes the drug unsuitable for internal consumption. Okay, sweet almonds do not contain glycoside and hence they are not bitter in taste. Because of absence of amygdalin, they do not produce volatile oil on hydrolysis. Okay, use this, it will be used as a sedative due to HCN content. Now the oil is used as nothing but demulcent skin lotion and in the preparation of amygdalin. Okay, अभी we are going to see two different types of hydrolysis of amygdalin. ये बहुत important है. I want you to sit with and write it down with the help of a pen paper. Okay, be very clear. Amygdalin on enzymatic hydrolysis with emulsin. अभी यहाँ पे emulsin क्या है, एंजाइम है. अगर emulsin के साथ उसका hydrolysis हो गया तो what it will lead, it will give rise to benzaldehyde, hydrocyanic acid and two molecules of glucose. Okay, but अगर केस उल्टा हुआ, that is amygdalin will के साथ एमिगडाइलेज अगर रिएक्ट हो गया तो क्या होगा, प्रूनासीन सबसे पहले बनेगा. प्रूनासीन विल हैव क्या, एक ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल और मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल ग्लूकोसाइड. फिर वापस दूसरा एंजाइम प्रूनेज विल टेक प्लेस. तो प्रूनेज काम करेगा तो क्या होगा, दूसरा ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल निकलेगा. एंड फाइनली हाइड्रोक्सी नाइट्रिलेज यूज होगा विच विल रिमूव or cleave the bond between hydrocyanic acid and benzaldehyde. So what do you understand from this slide? सबसे important one thing you understand, that is emulsin is a very strong एंजाइम फॉर हाइड्रोलिसिस, क्योंकि वो डायरेक्टली सब कुछ अलग कर देगा. बट अगर 3 स्टेप में हुआ तो इट विल बी एमिगडालेज, प्रूनेज एंड हाइड्रोक्सीनाइट्रिलेज. तो ये पूरा एक चार्ट फॉर्म में, if you want you can again watch the video and pause the video and draw this out. It's again and again I am saying this is important to understand कि 3 step, because exam में पूछते हैं and they give exam में options. emulsin के साथ अगर आया तो क्या बनेगा, तो इट विल बी प्रूनासीन एंड ग्लूकोज. ओके, फिर ऑप्शन में मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल और ग्लूकोज होगा, बेंजल्डिहाइड और HCN होगा. तो यू शुड बी क्लियर, अगर एमल्सिन है तो बेंजल्डिहाइड, हाइड्रोसाइनिक एसिड एंड ग्लूकोज ही बनेगा. ठीक है, तो दिस इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड तो क्लियर हो जाएगा. वाइल्ड चेरी बार्क भी क्लियर हो जाएगा. ये देख रहे हैं आप. This is also known as Virginian prune bark. Okay, nothing but dried bark of Prunus serotina belonging to family Rosaceae. Now, if you see wild cherry bark, it has highest potency only during autumn. Therefore, bark is mostly corrected during this period. Inner layer will contain a substantial amount of HCN. Okay, hence, soon after collection, the inner layer of cork is removed. After the removal of cork as well, a portion of cortex, that is the exposed surface of the bark, exhibiting phloem, more or less, will give rise to the uniform dark colored product, which is commercially known as nothing but roast bark. Now, if you see the macroscopy, if you have a look, it has greenish brown color with scars of lenticels. Okay, entire young bark will be covered with smooth, thin, and reddish brown cork with whitish lenticels. It has bitter, aromatic, and astringent taste. It will have a strong odor resembling bitter almond when treated with water. Now, chemical constituents, mandilonitrile glucoside, also called as prunacin. क्यों? अगर तुम लोग यहाँ पे देखोगे तो दिस इज, अगर मैं इसको मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल, ये रिंग है, ओके, इसमें ग्लूकोज ऐड कर दूं तो मैंडिलोनाइट्राइल ग्लूकोसाइड हो गया, दैट इज ऑल्सो प्रोनासी, सेम है, करेक्ट. सो दैट इज अ साइनोजेनेटिक ग्लाइकोसाइड इट विल कंटेन. It will also contain benzoic acid traces, coumaric acid, and resin, which is called as methyl asculatin and trimethyl gallic acid. Chemical test: piece of paper when dipped in guavicum resin and moistened with dilute copper sulfate. Okay, when exposed to freshly cut surface of drug, blue stain is produced. Use में it will be used as an expectorant, and syrup is used as a flavoring agent. Next, coming to isothiocyanate glycoside. So these are nothing but they are also called as glucosinolate compounds. अभी आइसोथायोसाइनेट ब्रेक करो. साइनाइड है, हम लोग ने पहले साइनोजेनेटिक पढ़ा. थायो है तो सल्फर है, ठीक है. तो आर एन सी एस ऐसे देखो, इसलिए वो आइसोथायोसाइनेट है. ओके, कंटेन सल्फर एंड ऑल्सो नाइट्रोजन समटाइम्स. Widely scattered in plants of higher families and most prominent being cruciferate. Many of these plants also belong to myrosinase enzyme. Example क्या है इसका? Black mustard, rye, सरसों is the example of this class, that is isothiocyanate. So they are nothing but dried ripe seeds of Brassica nigra or Brassica juncea belonging to family cruciferate. The dioglycoside sinigrin is obtained from the defatted black mustard seed. Okay. Macroscopy mein it will have a seed coat. Okay. Which consists of testa consisting of two layers. Outer layer being well developed and inner layer is made of collapsed cells. Epidermis will be made of polygonal tubular cells containing mucilage. Okay. Then there is endospermic cells which contain allurone grains and fixed oils. Embryo also contains the same. Chemical constituents, it has 30% of fixed oils, volatile oil with proteins, and 0.4% of isothiocyanate glycoside called sinigrin, that is potassium myronate. Now, major are these chemical constituents. Okay, understand here one thing. Because of enzyme myrosin, in presence of water, sinigrin will get hydrolyzed to allyl isothiocyanate. तो ये जो हाइड्रोलिसिस है ना, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. क्यों? बिकॉज अलील आइसोथायोसाइनेट जो है, दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड द एसेंस और द वोलेटाइल मस्टर्ड ऑयल. ओके, इसमें वाटर में इसका हाइड्रोलिसिस होगा. ओके, if I have to talk about chemical test, then when treated with alkali, it is going to show bright yellow color, and it is used as an emetic, used as a flavorant, used as a counter irritant and rubeficient, and also all the activity of seed is due to sinigrin, that is the, or consequently the volatile mustard oil. Okay. अल्डिहाइड ग्लाइकोसाइड में एक ही ड्रग पढ़ना है, विच इज वैनिला। वैनिला जो फ्लेवर है ना, जो आइसक्रीम में होता है, सेम वैनिला। वो कहाँ से आता है वैनिला फ्लेवर? दैट इज फ्रॉम द अनराइप फ्रूट्स, okay, of Vanilla planifolia, commonly known as Madagascar or Mexican vanilla, or Vanilla tahitensis, frequently termed as Tahiti vanilla, belonging to family Orchidaceae. Vanilla flavor is why it is expensive. Agar if you check the flavor of the vanilla, why it is expensive? Then because it belongs to the family of orchids. Okay. Now, if you have to see when it is collected, the fruits, particularly at the stage when their color will change from green to yellow. Why this is important? Because यहाँ पे flavor important है. So flavor अगर derive करना है किसी से, so exact point of collection you should understand. Okay. So then it is allowed to undergo fermentation, whereby the characteristic flavor and aroma will develop gradually. Fermentation will help in conversion of vanilloside to vanillin and glucose respectively. Macroscopy में fruits are capsular type, which are flattened and cylindrical in shape. They have a longitudinal and wrinkled surface, and it is covered with crystals of vanillin. Major chemical constituents: vanilla pods. It will contain 2 to 2.7% of vanillin, which is the major constituent, which is an aldehyde glycoside, and it also essentially there is a presence in the form of glucovanillin. Another glycoside is glucovanillin alcohol, which upon hydrolysis will yield vanillic alcohol and glucose. Now the odor and the flavor of vanilla are not totally due to vanillin, but collectively due to vanillin and other fragrant principles. It is mostly used as a pharmaceutical aid for flavoring various liquid preparations. Coming to the last part of the drugs of glycosides, that is nothing but glycosidal bitters. In general, what are bitters? They are the edible natural products mostly consumed before any normal meals to stimulate as well as enhance the appetite. However, the bitter glycosides as a class do possess almost the similar activities like the bitters, such as digestive, stomachic and febrifuge. हमेशा याद रखो जब हम लोग ग्लाइकोसाइडल बिटर्स पढ़ रहे हैं ना, that means something that is going to cause irritation to your stomach mucosa. Okay. Therapeutically, I have to say, these bitters have been found to exert their stimulant effects on gustatory nerves located in the mouth and ultimately give rise to an improved gastric juice secretion in the stomach. First drug that we see here is Garcinia, nothing but dried deseeded fruits of Garcinia kombugia belonging to family Guttiferae. Now these fruits are dark brown to brackish brown in color and acidic in taste. It also contains tartaric acid, hydroxycitric acid and phosphoric acid. ये कुछ नहीं बट विलायती इमली है, एंड ये कोकम जैसा दिखता है थोड़ा बहुत, राइट? So it is not kokum but it is garci. Seeds of fruits contain fats and resembles kokum butter. That is what I said, right? अभी ये क्यों यूज होता है गार्सिनिया? इट इज यूज इन डाइजेस्टिव डिसऑर्डर्स. मैंने बोला ना बिटर्स है तो सब किसी ना किसी स्टमक के पार्ट को इरिटेट करेंगे. ओके. एंड इट विल हेल्प इन it will act as a stomachic, it will help in digestion. Okay. And in this case it is also used as an antiseptic, also used for substitute for formic acid in coagulation of rubber knitting. Next drug that we see is gentian. Gentian is इसका विलायती इमली नहीं है. By mistake I have got it written here. It is nothing but dried, partially fermented rhizome and root of yellow gentian or Gentiana lutea belonging to family Gentianaceae. Now these are long rhizomes, fully grown, fleshy roots of 2 to 5 year aged plants which are dug up carefully and collected preferably in autumn. Now these roots and rhizome are washed thoroughly to get rid of the adhered soil, and then they are sliced into a longitudinal fashion. The freshly sliced pieces of roots and rhizomes generally appear white in color and do not have any odor. So during this process of gradual drying at a controlled temperature, fermentation will commence, which will eventually turn them dark or yellow colored product with a characteristic odor. Okay. Gentian is nothing but a rhizome and it has a peculiar odor. Okay. Fresh drug will have a sweet taste followed by intensely bitter taste later on. Okay. Major chemical constituent is gentiopicrin, also called as gentiopicroside. Okay. Water soluble and has a bitterness value of 12,000. Okay. So it's a very highly bitterous drug. Okay. अभी कुछ खाते I don't recollect anything, but some fruits also have this kind of a nature. पहले sweet taste करते हैं and later on धीरे धीरे वो bitter taste होता है. Correct? Drug also contains amarogencin. Okay. Then it also has gentioside and a mixture of gentiopicrin and genticide. Okay, which is called as gentinin. Amarogencin is considered as bittermost substance with bitterness value of 5.8 lakhs. Okay. Taste of the drug is mainly due to this. The drug also contains a flavonoid alkaloid which is called as gentianine or genticin. Gentianose is a trisaccharide containing 2 glucose and 1 fructose molecule and a disaccharide containing 2 molecules of sucrose. तो ये तुम लोग को हम लोग आगे constituent if you see here, okay, तो majorly क्या है gentiopicroside. ओके. और पिक्रोसाइड में क्या है जेंशेनोज एक शुगर है जैसे हमने आगे पढ़े हैं ना अर्लियर वी हैड सीन सम ऑफ द शुगर्स व्हिच हैव टू मॉलिक्यूल्स. ओके. Similarly here like saccharose we had seen which was a deoxy sugar. Similarly in this case it is a trisaccharide where there are 2 glucose and 1 fructose molecule joined together. Okay. If I have to talk about the microscopy, root है तो cork है, cortex है, phloem fibers, phloem vessels है, but phloem fibers are absent. Okay. And it will not have xylem because सिर्फ bark पड़ रहे हैं. Okay. And the drug does not contain any sclerites. If I have to talk about a chemical test, under UV radiation, it will show light blue fluorescence. And it is used as a bitter tonic to stimulate gastric secretion and hence improving the appetite. Studying the last drug for today's lecture, which is quassia. Don't get confused between quelaja and quassia. Okay, quassia is nothing but it is a bitter wood consisting of dried stem wood of Picrasma escales or Asteron excels belonging to family Cimarubaceae. Okay, if you have to look at the collection for this, the wood is obtained from main trunk and branches. Then after it is cut, the bark is removed and the wood of the trunk and large branches are cut into chips, raspings and logs. Immediately dried to prevent the growth of mold. Naturally, the wood is white in color but slowly turns to yellow and brown. This wood has bitter taste without any color, okay, and it is a porous wood and vessels are present in group. Because of tangential bands of xylem parenchyma, wood will show presence of annual rings. Chemical constituents for this is mainly amaroid compounds, okay. Then like quasine, neoquasine, isoquasine and hydroxyl quasine, okay. Drug will not have presence of any tannins because of a yellow substance that is present. It shows blue fluorescence when it is acidified with alcohol. Okay. So this is about quassia. Okay. And if you have to look at the microscopy of this plant, okay, so the section will show secondary xylem. Okay, section of this will show secondary xylem. अगर इस वुड के बारे में have to speak more, तुम लोग ने इसका TLS, RLS ये सब लिया होगा. Correct? That is nothing but different types of section. Okay, different types of section. different types of section it will have, that is radial section, okay, then transverse sections, all these different types of sections you might have seen in your practical, like xylem vessel, xylem parenchyma, fibers, medullary rays. Okay, then if you have to see, there is concentric rings, and in TS it will show presence of thickened pitted walls. Okay, quassia wood will have large xylem vessels present in groups like bordered pits. Okay, then the wood fibers are present in abundant quantity. Medullary rays are bi or multiseriate, cells being radially elongated with pitted cell walls. Okay, uses, it is used as a bitter tonic. Because of absence of tannins, it will not have astringent activity, and also it can be used with iron salts. It is given as an enema in infusion to expel thread worms. ओके, तो इसका जो टीएलएस आरएलएस है ना, सब अलग अलग सेक्शन में अलग अलग दिखेगा. कभी कभी फाइबर्स लॉन्ग एलोंगेटेड दिखते हैं, बट कभी कभी सिर्फ ऐसा राउंड में दिखेंगे, डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट टाइप ऑफ सेक्शन यू हैव टेकन. ओके, and how nicely you have taken that, how thin you have taken that section. Okay, so mainly it is used in expellation of thread worms, मतलब एंटहेलमिंटिक है ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. It also has the infusion is also used as a lotion in pediculosis, and it possesses insecticidal properties. Okay, Quassia amara is an allied drug. Jamaica quassia, smaller in size, and Brassica antidysentrica. It also contains quasinoids and brucentin. Brucentin has shown anti-cancer activity. Okay. So that's it about Portia, and I think here we come to end of our today's not lecture, but the drugs that we have covered, okay, so far, and also coming to an end of entire glycosides, which is divided into 4 different videos. In today's lecture, I would request you all to subscribe the channel for more updates, and also to stay tuned, because every Wednesday now onwards, I will be means we will be changing our subject as well, because since this was a large topic, it went on for 4 weeks. Next Wednesday onwards, we are planning next session of YouTube lives. Probably that will which will help you for your semester exams. Okay, any request you have for any particular topic, please put in the comment section. I will try to incorporate that topic as well. Okay. um yes, so let us know in the comment section. Before ending the today's meeting, I would like to share few of the MCQs, or rather discuss few of the MCQs from GPAT perspective, because MCQs का discussion नहीं हुआ, तो I feel it is not the end, because at the end पढ़ क्यों रहे हम लोग, MCQs solve करने हैं इसी, and application पता होना चाहिए ना. I'm sorry. तो उसके लिए MCQs discussion is the must. Okay, so let me discuss 8 to 10 MCQs maybe maximum with you all. Okay, uh, yeah, trying to do the slide. So great. So you can use your comment section to answer, or you can just stop or pause the video. Okay, even that is fine if you are seeing a recorded one. So following, which amongst the following is the test for saponin glycosides? Hemolysis, Calor-Killiani, bond triangles, and cadase. Very easy है. So answer to this is hemolysis test. Calor-Killiani is for cardiac, bond triangles is for anthraquinone, and cadase test is also for cardiac. Find out the correct one. Glycosides are water soluble compounds and insoluble in organic solvents. Glycone part is water insoluble. Aglycone part is water soluble. Some glycosides are soluble in alcohol. अभी पहले वाले पार्ट से मैंने आगे का पार्ट इसलिए नहीं पढ़ा क्योंकि पहले वाले से पता चल जाता है. इफ यू सी अग्लाइकोन पार्ट इज वाटर सोल्यूबल, ये तो डेफिनेटली रॉन्ग है. तो आर में फॉल्स कहाँ दिख रहा है, तो 2 ऑप्शन है, सी और डी. अभी इफ यू सी ग्लाइकोन पार्ट इज वाटर इनसोल्यूबल, तो बी भी फॉल्स है. तो आई थिंक ऑप्शन इज सी. अगर कुछ और नहीं समझ रहा है तो Let me see. Yes, option is C. Because glycosides, yes, are water soluble and insoluble in organic solvents. Okay. Next question. Which amongst the following is an incorrect statement? तो अगर देखेंगे ब्यूफाडाइनोलाइड इज C23 स्ट्रक्चर एंड कार्डिनोलाइड इज C24. ओके, कैसा है? नहीं, कार्डिनोलाइड इज C23. ब्यूफाडाइनोलाइड इज C24 but it has 6-membered alpha pyrone ring. Okay, so this is correct. ब्यूफाडाइनोलाइड देखो अगर इसमें तो क्लियर है C23 और C24, मतलब ए या बी में से ही कोई ऑप्शन होगा, बिकॉज ये दोनों ही डिफर कर रहे हैं. तो सी और डी पढ़ने की भी जरूरत नहीं है अगर ऐसे फॉर्म में स्टेटमेंट है. ठीक है, अभी याद करना है कि ये दोनों में से क्या सही हो सकता है. ठीक है, तो आई थिंक द ऑप्शन इज नो सर, 100% द ऑप्शन इज व्हाट? ऑप्शन इनकरेक्ट कौन सा है? बी, दैट इज ब्यूफाडाइनोलाइड इज C23 स्ट्रक्चर विद 5-membered alpha pyrone ring. ओके, व्हाट इज बायोलॉजिकल सोर्स ऑफ इंडियंस है ना, ये डायरेक्ट है. सो आई विल नॉट डिस्कस मोर ऑन दिस. डायरेक्टली बायोलॉजिकल सोर्स पता होना चाहिए. इट इज लीफलेट्स एंड pods of Cassia angustifolia. Which amongst the following is used for distinguishing between Alexandrian and Indian cell? ये अगर किया होगा तो ही आएगा, वरना नहीं आएगा. Because every test is different. So answer for this is methanolic magnesium acetate solution. Now what is the name of cytotoxic glycoside isolated from rhubarb? रुबाब पहले याद करना है कौन से क्लास ऑफ ग्लाइकोसाइड के अंडर है. ओके, पाल्मिडिन ए है, पाल्मिटिन है, राइनोलिक एसिड है, ग्लूकोरिन है. ओके, so let us see which amongst this has the correct answer. Palmitin. Okay, palmitin A is the glycoside that is present in rhubarb. Which amongst the following has irreversible MAO inhibitory activity? Okay, तो माओ इनहिबिटरी एक्टिविटी कहाँ किसमें है? एलो है, रुबाब है, रैमनेस पर्शियाना और हाइपरिकम है. तो इफ यू हैव टू लुक, इसका आंसर अगेन डायरेक्ट है, हाइपरिकम परफोरेटम. ओके, अमॉन्ग्स द फॉलोइंग सोकोट्राइन और ज़ैंजिबर एलोज में विच इज द नेगेटिव टेस्ट? तो इफ यू सी नाइट्रिक एसिड और नाइट्रस एसिड टेस्ट हमने देखा था. क्लून्स आइसोबार्बोलोइन वो देखा था, दैट वाज आल्सो बिटवीन द एलो डिस्टिंग्विशिंग. ओके, तो इसमें से नाइट्रिक एसिड टेस्ट विल बी द डिस्टिंग्विशिंग टेस्ट. ओके, बिकॉज क्लून्स आइसोबार्बोलोइन में ये नाइट्रिक एसिड में सब कलर्स डिफरेंट होते हैं. ओके, लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर टुडे. व्हिच अमंग्स द फॉलोइंग इज नॉट एन adulterant to digitalis? एंड फॉर दिस digitalis lanata है, प्राइमरोज, कॉम्प्रे और वर्बेस्कम थेप्सिस. ओके, so answer to this is digitalis lanata, because purpurea lanata, these are the two species, and your lanata is not an adulterant to it. Okay, so here we come to end of our discussion about the MCQs. I would like to inform you all, please subscribe the channel, and if you have any doubts, please note it down in the comment section. Also, if you have any topic of interest to be taken, then please note it down in the comment section. Also, like the video and let me know if you have you know have any doubts with regards to my presentation. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the patient listening.